Okay, we're going to, because apparently quilt videos are more popular than golf or vacation videos. So we're going to do another quilt video. We're going to show off some of Naida'S quilts. So here we go.
Hello, I'm Naida McKee. I'm going to show you just a sample of some of my scrap quilts. And so this is the very first string quilt. I made it years and years ago. And it's been used a lot. My very first string quilt. I love to use up scraps. Then, after the movie Sleepy Hollow came out, I wanted to do a pyramid quilt. So don't look at my points, but this is the pyramid quilt I made. And I like to use up pretty much all scraps. So most of my quilts, this one included, has I pieced my backs just to use up parts from that I've had extra. Some of them, when they are on a foundation, I don't, because it gets too heavy. I just put a plain back on them. A friend of mine, Lynn Kennedy, gave me a whole stack of florals, and they were like 7.5-inch squares. So I made 4 quilts, and I was really pleased. They all look different. 2 of them I've given away. But I still have 2. And I think it's amazing that when you can have the same fabric and can set them together different. And of course, even though you make scrap quilts, you end up with more scraps because you have borders and backs that you trim. And like this one is the back on that. Then I have several just sewing strips together and forming squares. This is sort of a rail fence. This is another string quilt I made. Actually just recently. I think I did that in last year. And it just has 20-inch squares sewn together for the back. I cut up a lot of scraps. If they're like less than a ½ yard, I cut them into squares and then I use them later. Now, in 2008, after my knee replacements, I developed plantar fasciitis and I couldn't stand and quilt, so I sat and sewed scraps together, and that's what this developed. Just a bunch of random pieces sewn together, and I love to try to put random blocks together. I'm going to put another video out that shows orphan blocks and adopted blocks. This one I just finished also last year, and it's just pieces sewn together. I did the blocks at Retreat one actually last November, and they're just little pieces sewn together to form big pieces. And then I cut out, I think 10-inch, 10.5 inch. A lot of times I'll put like a large friendship star on the back. And these are others, just sewn together. They were all like these plaids and stuff. And I wanted something more masculine, so I had this in my stash and I used that as a border. And then I put the rest of the pieces on the back. These are some of the 9 patches I threw together in 2008 after my knee replacement. I just put them together, and then I had some orphan, well, these are adopted blocks. Somebody gave them to me, so I put them on the back. And these were also 9 patches I put together back in after my knee replacements. And I saw this kind of pattern, so I just kind of developed this. I saw the pattern somewhere, and I just used scraps to make it, so I don't think it looks like a star really, but, and then I just sewed like strips together like a jelly roll for the back. I'm trying real hard, but you never seem to get rid of scraps. Here's some more 9 patches I did. And I had some kind of half square triangles that I put together. Or I actually made, I think 3 of those, but I've given 2 away. It's just another pattern on the back. And a lot of the same fabrics are in all these quilts because they're so these are more just random blocks. I see there's a few orphan and adopted blocks in this one. I did another pattern recently that I actually really liked the pattern, and I have a lot of squares cut out, so I adopted this and made that quilt. And I wanted to get rid of some more of those squares. These next 3 are not quilted yet. Wanted to do one that just has lights, and actually I ended up doing 2. And this is, I always wanted to do a giant square string quilt. Didn't know what it would look like, but I actually loved how this turned out, and I'm making another one now. So I hope you enjoyed seeing what you can do with scraps, because there is a lot you can do besides string quilts. You can make it more of a pattern. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.